Stay tuned for tips and techniques from the nation's top chefs in the Chef's Kitchen.
Hi, we're back, and Rob Peters from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board is going to show us how to entertain with wine at the holidays on a budget.
And try to do it reasonably.
Yes.
Yeah, and not be afraid of some maybe formats that
That's
people
right.
are hesitant to buy, thinking that they appear cheap. I hate to use that term.
But it's a
Sounds
good way to
technical,
put it.
But it's a format or a container.
Box wines, some people may not think they are as wonderful as wines in a bottle, but you're spelling that myth to us. They're
Right,
just as good.
Just like in any other wine format world, whether it's 1.5, 750s,
Right.
you have the low end, you have the upper end.
Right.
And in this case, we happen to have Black Box, which I consider one of the premium box wines. You should remember that that container has 3 liters in it, so it's equivalent to 4 of these bottles.
Just
liquid.
fabulous. Well, the great part about it is it's very easy to store.
It's compact. Yeah.
Exactly.
And the technology behind it they've been using overseas, and basically it's a bladder, and as you drain the wine out through the valve, because they come through with a valve, let me just spin it around and show you. The valve extends out, and that bladder then collapses, and that prevents air getting up into, because the enemy to wine is oxidation, and oxidation comes from exposure to oxygen.
It's
so
great
we've
packaging.
eliminated that.
Now, how long can you store a wine like this once it's been opened?
Well, the Riesling, which I usually buy in the beginning of the summer and put it in my refrigerator, so you know I'm not a wine snob, I would use that probably, they recommend using it up, I believe, about 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, that's
but
wonderful.
I usually use it up in 4 weeks or so.
Sure, because you enjoy it.
And yeah, because I think Riesling in the summer is a great little aperitif wine.
Another thing that's very impressive, I feel, on our set today is these very large containers of wine.
Yeah, and
very festive looking.
And anything in a 3-liter, I believe they refer to this as a double magnum, is a technical term. Now, if you go into the stores, if you go into any of the premium collection stores, or a lot of the or regular stores, I should say, they have products like Clos de Bois. People look at this 1.5 and they might say, well, that's a jug wine, but it's not. It was a program developed from the 750 because of the success of the 750. They can now offer you a 1.5 with the same quality juice, but at a cheaper price, because you save money with
yes, of course, of course.
And one thing I recommend to people is, if you're buying box wines, is to see if there's an appellation on it. Because the nice thing about Black Box, for example, we have this Syrah.
Yes.
This actually has Central Coast on it. And I thought I'd just pour a splash.
Oh,
Is that okay?
please, please go right ahead.
In the valve, you just press it, seals
I love
up.
seeing
no
this,
drip.
how easy this is for guests at a holiday party.
Yeah, and you have red and white. I mean, if you look at it, it has great color, just like Syrah or
It's
Shiraz
beautifully
would.
rich, ruby.
Yeah, if you smell the fruit, just smell it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Smell the fruit. It's got that
yeah.
rich, dark, there's a little bit of hint of dried cocoa
Shall we
possibly
try?
to it. Yeah, please do.
Oh, that's lovely. That's very
Would you guess
rich.
that came out of a cardboard box?
Absolutely not. That's a beautiful
It's got
glass
the
of
fruit.
wine.
It's got some structure to it. There's a little bit of tannin with the
So
fruit.
if we're stocking our
So-
home bar for the holidays,
Yes.
what should we have? What are must-have wines that we
Well,
should have in
probably
our bar?
to be safe, you want to have Chardonnay, Cabernet in the house.
Okay.
Those 2 varietals, because they tend to be the most popular that I know of, at least from what I've seen in the stores, what sells.
You were giving me some very good tips. I was complaining that during the holidays, if I'm entertaining, I often end up with half-drunk bottles of wine that I have no idea how to store because they're too big for my refrigerator shelf.
they
And
can
you
be.
were giving me some really good solutions.
But what I do at home is I always have a couple empty 750s around, or even the 375s, the half bottles. And if you have, say, a half a bottle, transfer it to the smaller bottle.
Yes.
Put a cork in it, or use some type of closure that you might have,
And
one
I
of those
assume
rubber
label it.
seals that you have with the pump to draw the air out, and just put it in the fridge. Again, I always emphasize you should refrigerate open wine. Helps preserve it longer.
And I know in your premium stores, we discussed this, you have experts on staff that if you just ask them.
Right, ask for the person on staff that handles the wine. And many of your premium collection stores have several people, so that way they can overlap.
Especially during the holidays, very busy season,
right,
when there are a
because
lot
people
of
shop
people
from
there.
9 in the morning till 10 at night.
That's right.
And I can't be there 13 hours a day, 7 days a week. I burn out. Always ask for help. There's always someone around.
Always someone there,
And
knowledgeable like yourself.
I have a series of stores in my area that call me on the phone. If they have a question they can't answer, they'll call my store in Ardmore, and then I answer the question for them.
I'm sure you're on beeper service during the holidays for sure.
7 days a week, the store calls me. So.
Rob Peters, just wonderful information about drinking responsibly and stocking your home on a budget during the holidays.
Enjoying these wines with your friends and family.
And enjoying them, that's the most important, right?
And saving money at the same time.
Cheers to that.
Cheers and enjoy responsibly. Thank you.
To see today's recipe and all of the recipes featured on the Chef's Kitchen, log on to chefskitchen.tv.